Hi, Busi, how are you?
Hey, Boom, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so excited about this topic.
I am glad that you are here. So, for anybody who's hearing us or watching, please make sure that you continue to follow us, like, subscribe, comment, download, do whatever that needs to be done. These are really some amazing conversations that we always have. So, Busi, on this platform, people introduce themselves. So, please introduce yourself.
Oh my goodness, that is hard. I was just thinking, Guti, I met you a long time ago when I was so crappy, and I just remembered. Oh my goodness, why wouldn't Bumi even want to talk to me?
What do you mean? You
I,
are an international accredited coach, you know?
I mean, and that is bringing me to the fact that all of us are here to grow, to heal, to stand in the gap for others. So my job daily is that I am a money coach. I'm an international accredited money coach. That happened 8 years ago. And from that time, I knew that I needed to share my money story with somebody that has a money story that is not going so well. And
Mm.
I knew that when I had gone through 40 million rand debt and was able to come out of it. So I have gone from corporate to business to being in my calling as an energy healer, and have
Mm.
seen how money has affected all those stages of my life. So yeah, basically that's who I am.
Thank you. And yeah, I remember that it's been a while since I've known you, and you've impacted my life in some. You're one person who's told me some things like, yay, stop doing this. And I'll be sitting there going, no, why, Busi? Because it's just the bad habits that we've taken. But yeah, so but for today, we are going to be talking about knowing your value and knowing your worth, mainly in corporate or in business. So let's break it down. So I start with the basics. What does knowing your value or knowing your worth mean?
Yeah, very important topic. So currently it's full moon, and yesterday I was doing a YouTube live video, and somebody had asked me about. So in the previous video, I talked about changing your mindset point, and somebody yesterday was reminding me, "Hey, Busi, talk about how to change your mindset point." And then I was talking about this value question they wanted asking me
Mm.
about now. So a money set point, just for the context of this, is the money that we know that we are worthy of.
Mhm.
So either you do anything amazing or you don't do much, but as long as you're waking up and you're doing something, that money is the money that's going to come in your life. So it's the money that it's normal to you. So it could be 10,000, it could be 20,000, it could be 50,000,
Mhm.
and you got to a certain point where that became a normal for you. And before that, you were probably at a 10,000 and you thought 10,000 was it. But if somebody talked to you about 50,000, you'd be like, oh no, me no. So maybe that was when you were 2 years in your job, or whatever. So now you're at 50,000, and
Mm.
you also don't think 10. No, I can never be paid 10. If anybody can call you and say, here's a job, 10,000, you'll tell them, what are you smoking? But
Mm.
again, if a
Mm.
person called you and said, I'm going to give you 1.3 million a month, you'll be like, hi, Bo, are you sure you're talking to me? Hi, what's wrong here? So, but if a person says 50, which is that money set point, yako, you'll be fine. So
Okay.
that is very much connected to value. So one of the things that you change your mindset point is value. So let me just make this a little bit more contextualized so that somebody
Okay.
who's listening can understand. So one
Mm.
of the things that we have been taught to use to change that mindset point will be um, having an extra qualification, having a doctorate, having certain experience, having this and this. So we will always be told that you need to go and study more, you need to have more experience, you need to be this gender, women don't get paid this much in this company, you need to know this and this and this and this. So we are always told that you must do something, you must be something for us to give you that money. But for us, we never understand that it's never about what doctorate you have. It's never about what qualification you have. Because the thing is this, if maybe a doctorate, if you have a doctorate, you get paid 150,000 a month. That is the limit. You will never be paid more than that. Because guess what? There's nothing else other than a PhD. So a PhD is the ceiling. So then you stop. Then you cannot earn 300K a month because you have set that to be at if I'm in a doctorate level, well, what else is there? So experience, I mean, everybody works probably 40 years maximum. So you can never have an experience more than, you can't have a 50 years experience, I think, in a job. I mean, few people can get there. So you have all those limits. But then when you use value says this. Value changes everything about how much education do you have, what gender are you, where are you, what color are you, and what race are you. It changes everything because value is no longer about what you know, is about who you are. So all of us have been brought here with a specific goal in mind. Other people are in communication, other people are in marketing, other people are in finance, other people are in coaching, other people are in athletics, other people are in music, other people are in designing, fashion, whatever, digital. So all of us came with that special gift. Now, normally you will notice that a child that is good at singing, they start singing at 3.
Yeah.
And at 3, you have never been taught any of this stuff. A child that is good at designing, you see them at 5. They're already designing something. A child that is good in maths, you see them at grade 1, that they are just great at this thing. So that is who they are. That is what they've been brought here with. So normally we do not embrace that part of who we are, which is our value. We then go and say, what does the earth want? The earth currently wants accountants. I'll be a CA. And then you go there and you become a CA, and then it's just crappy and you don't like it. Or what does the world want now? They want chefs. You go and become a chef. And
I can relate to that accountant story.
yeah. So I remember I started IT because they said it's going to have money. And at that time, very IT was moneyed. And I did get a job in IT, which was depressing me, but I was earning a lot of money. But I left it because I just couldn't handle it. Now, the thing is this, everything under the sun makes money because everybody is valuable. But people just keep choosing the wrong thing that can make them money. They forget also that the thing that they should be doing also makes money. So if a chef becomes an accountant and an accountant becomes a chef, being a chef gives money, being an accountant gives money. So why is the accountant a chef? Why is the chef an accountant? So and then when you ask the chef, why are you not an accountant? Oh no, they said they said accountant is the one that's got more money. Now, if I go become a chef, I will be broke. My chef ends up way more money. Why can't you think you could be that one? So this value thing overrides all that you think you need to be. Because at 5 years, how do you know? Where did you learn to do this thing so well? At 10 years, how did you learn to do this thing so well? So you don't need to be anything more than just yourself. Now, one day, I had to write a book. And according to the levels of life and standards, I was not in that group.
Okay.
The people who had to write books are people who had gone to the right schools, who had the right English. I mean, the correct grammar. I had none of that. I studied English in Swati. We were told, Leli likomishi. Likomishi is, you know. So it just, at matric, I couldn't construct an English sentence. Matric. Yeah. So that's where I've been from schools where my teachers didn't know English, but they were teachers. Yeah. So till today, It's very funny. And so I knew where I was coming from. And when I got to study in TUT at that time, Pretoria Technical, I found out that, wow, really, really, where I'm coming from, it's wrong. Wow, this is how people, the education that I got was wrong. So, and my background, my upbringing was it was wrong. All of the stuff that I was not in the level of a person that can write a book and be published author.
Wow.
It was
Because
against.
there are these standards that have been set
Yes,
out there.
yes. So I didn't have the correct English. I didn't have any of the stuff. So, of course, that was a perfect excuse to say, no, I can't write a book. Well, I mean, I still then probably need the right grammar and what, and all this kind of stuff that some of them really, I really can't even turn back the hands of times and get them right. So it was so easy for me to just say, you know what, this is not it. But guess what? Because who I am is a person that is supposed to inspire people. And a book was one of the things that could go and touch so many lives without me being there. But the calling that was on my life was never going to let me go. So I wrote the book. The book is out, has sold more than 12,000 copies all over the world. And there's no English in it, not even a little bit. Guess what? People read it every day. And nobody ever complained. So I always say this, my book came out just after Bonang's book came out. Bonang's book got I was crying daily when people on social media were making fun of her and all that. And I knew that it was going to happen to me. But I was never writing that book to make money. I was never writing that book to build my profile. I was writing that book to heal people. People got healed and nobody ever complained about my English there.
So the objective, you were very clear about what your objective was.
Exactly. So the value of who I am at 5 years, because that's when my money story started, was never going to be taken out because I don't have the correct education. I didn't have the correct upbringing. So value is that thing that when you recognize it, it opens the doors that you never think will ever be open. It takes you to places where you have no clue how you got there. I mean, I have been in meetings where the president was on a Zoom meeting with me and he was waiting for me to say something that makes sense. And then I'm here like thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die today.
Oh, yes.
But guess what? It is just the calling on my life of the things that God gave me. I'm not worthy of that. But the calling will take, so there's a scripture in the Bible that says your gift will open doors for you, will put you in houses of kings. And kings do not ask you for a quotation. They ask you how much you want.
Yeah.
So, and that is your value. You do not get invited to those interviews or get those CEO positions or get to where you wish to be when you do not think you are good enough. They will never call you until you think you should be called there. And a lot of times people always, when there's an opportunity that is coming up and maybe you are going for a big interview, you are feeling so stressed out the whole time about if they're going to say yes or no. The thing is this, only the thing you should be doing while you're even waiting for the answer, if it's going to be yes or no, is being grateful that God has shown you that you've got the value of being in this field. So the reason that you're called in this amazing interview is because they saw that you've got value. You are worthy of even being talked to about this thing.
Exactly.
That is your value.
And most people miss that. I always say the fact that somebody has called you to an interview, they are seeing something in you. And
Yes.
they want a skill that you have. The
Yeah.
question is, how do you then show up and sell that skill?
Yes. And when you think they are making you a favor, you are throwing your value out the door. Because you're saying, hey, I'm here, master, I'll do whatever you want. No, they are saying you are the experts. Come tell me what to do. So when you get into that interview, you must go there and be like, mina ngizonfixa mangifika la. I'll fix you all. Just give me two days. I'll fix you all. So that is the energy they need from you, because they've noticed their value. And most of the time, they didn't notice your qualification. There's so many people with higher qualifications than you. There's so much people who have done maybe so much experience than you. But they want you because they know which when you're coming with this energy that's gonna fix them. So when your value is the only thing that you cannot quantify it. And
Yeah.
your value is the only thing that can convince a person that you are worthy when you do not have facts that says you are worthy.
But how do you discover this, Busi? Because you're saying a whole lot of things. There's the good enough where you don't believe that you're good enough. Like, how are you going to figure out your value when you even think I'm not deserving, I'm not good enough? The value story doesn't even feature in that
Yeah,
conversation
yeah.
when you think about it.
So the one thing that is so unfortunate is that you learned that you're not good enough.
Mm.
You did not you did not get you did not come out of your mother's womb thinking you're not enough. All babies think they're amazing until somebody tells you actually you're not,
Yeah,
because you're not
true.
number one in the class. You're not, you didn't, and then you start like,
Mm.
oh, maybe I'm not, oh, maybe I'm not. So we are taught those things of you are not good enough. Hence, even when they start to call me in these meetings, I am freaking out because, wow, I know I'm not good enough. So I'm going to mess it up. When I get there, I'm going to do something wrong. They gonna actually find out that I'm not good enough. So they looked at me from a distance. They thought I'm good enough. Now that I'm going to the interview, God, they finally gonna find out. I'm gonna be caught. So that
Mm.
imposter syndrome thing.
Mm.
So now you have to unlearn. That is the part we all have to, that's the responsibility we have to unlearn all the information we've been told of we are not good enough, because really
Mm.
at 3 years you did not think you were not good enough, you were told.
Mm.
So you have to say, hey, why am I freaking out about this?
Mm.
I am literally thinking that I don't have enough education, I don't have this and this and this, I don't know this and this and this, I don't, something is something that somebody said it to you at 6 years. Something you heard a pastor say at a church. Something is something you heard a politician say when before our filter was closed, before that 7 years age, or
Mm.
any other time when we were under an authority. Because when we are under an authority, our filters go out, because God made it like that, that when we're under authority, we don't have filters, so that we can receive from that authority. So
Yeah.
depending, maybe it's your boss. That's why a lot of people that had bosses that were bullying, they don't continue being great in life, because you were under authority and this person told you you are stupid, and then
Mm.
you took it in, you learned it. Now you go
Yeah.
around thinking you're stupid because an authority said that to you. So then, once you notice that, you need to cleanse this, you need to unlearn this, you need to take it out of your system. Once you've taken it out of your system, you're gonna feel like you're waking up. You're like, hi man, by the way, why would they call me if they didn't think I'm good? Then it clicks.
Yeah. Mm. Mm.
So we have to
Wow.
do the work of unlearning.
And the unlearning looks like what? What is this process?
That's the creepy part. That's the part where you cry and you roll on the floor. That's the part where sometimes you can't even have. I mean, before we start this conversation, I was telling you about my story yesterday. My story yesterday, I found out there was something in my life that happened at like 4 years, 5 years, that I needed to deal with, because now the next step of my life needs me to show up without that wound.
Mm. Mm.
And I was like, do I want to deal with 4-year-old me? Or do I give up on this new thing that I need to go? Because I know that I can't go into this thing once I've dealt with this issue. And dealing with this issue, I was on the floor. I was sending my spiritual guide, because everybody must have somebody they lean on. You must
Mm.
have somebody
Mm.
on speed dial, on like,
Yeah.
yeah, you gunzima, do something that side. So when I was doing that, yes,
Intercede for me.
I was rolling on the floor. I had not cried so much. I cried for a whole probably 2 hours to 3.
Oh, shame,
And
man.
every time I was coming to a stop of the crying, the pain inside of me, that 4-year-old pain was coming out. And I was like, I don't even know why I'm crying, but I'm crying, you know. And I was like, okay, that's it. That's it. I'm going to call for emergency, you know. And that is when I started to become better, because then there was now somebody else on the other side who was also holding the space for with me. But it is not nice. So, I mean, on a daily basis, that's what I do with people. I hold the space while they roll on the floor. So while I'm clearing their energy, because everybody thinks, oh, but I'm broke. And they're thinking the problem is that they're broke. No, the problem is not that you're broke. Money can never finish in this planet. The problem is that you don't want the money, because if you have the money, then you are going to then be this thing that you are scared to be. Or you're going to have the things you were told you can't have. Or you're going to, you know, it's so many. So we have to go and clean up that place where you were told that you can't have these things. So you are self-sabotaging your everyday life and being broke because you were told you can't have this. Remember, you don't deserve this. So,
or people that have money are this, or people, you know what
yes.
I mean? All those conversations.
So that is the crappy part. That is the part nobody was. So I remember I was in another meeting and this guy was, so I was talking. Then we were like, so how do we do this? So then I literally gave them an example that everybody went like, oh my God, this is so hard. And then the guy was like, Busi, can I still get the money without the healing? I was like, you know what? You don't have to heal. You can just be broke all your life. It's fine. It's not a problem. So, because nobody wants to do the healing, because the healing is not nice. You have to go open those wounds, deal with them, feel the pain. There's so much pain that we put under the carpet that we don't want to deal with. You have to go process that pain. And then once you process that pain, you don't have to deal with stuff.
Yeah. It's literally confronting yourself.
Yep.
It's confronting yourself, or confronting the things that you, maybe some of the things you've forgotten, but in the
True.
midst of you healing, then but you need to be intentional and make the decision that you want to heal, and figure out then what does that look like for you. Because it's amazing how in the spirit of growing up, the things that we get told that sit in our subconscious, the things that we go through that sit in our subconscious, where then you diminish your value and you
Yes.
diminish what you think you can bring to the world, you
Yes.
know. But as parents, Busi, how do we, and I'm sitting here thinking, how do we then encourage our kids when we see those things that they are enjoying at a young age, so that they don't forget that? Because
Mm.
there's a lot at core when you talk to that part.
Mm. And I think a lot of times parents go with the, oh, you're doing great at English. Okay, fine. But let's worry about the maths. The maths you're not getting right. So as parents, we need to stop doing that, because the person does not have value in maths. The fact that they are not doing well in maths, it just shows that their value is not in maths. Their value is in the plants, because that's what they do. Maybe I don't know what plants. I mean,
Life
the whole
sciences or
life
whatever.
science. Yes, yes. They're. So we as parents are always trying to fix them. So already at that young age, we're telling them to focus on the things that are not their value. So the more they like, okay, I want to make my mommy happy by passing the maths, and then they keep failing the maths, and they're not here for maths. I mean, there are people who are not here for maths. So, so,
I'm one of those.
so the more you show them that they are not good at maths, what's happening? I'm not good at something. I'm not good at something. But imagine if we were saying, okay, fine, boy. Now that my boy currently, he's been telling me he's studying, he's learning what? Chinese, whatever. I mean, he talks Chinese stuff, and I'm like, I don't know the stuff. You know that. Oh, Mama, you don't know it, but I'm teaching you now. I don't know that he talks Chinese stuff. But I'm saying, God, fine, learn it. If it makes you happy, learn it. So if we could help them to do more of the things they are good at, we will be saving them, because he is good at math, and he tells all of us here in the house that he's got a calculator in his head. And you see, every time there's a maths issue, he's like, guys, everybody in the house, stop, I'll do it. I'll do the maths person.
Yeah.
So we all just like, okay, fine, do it. So he's gonna I mean, he would take 2 hours trying to solve something, and then he would come back with this, like, I told you guys, I told you I'm a maths genius. So that is what we should be helping him, because he thinks he's valuable in maths. And there are things he's not valuable at. And we should, like, in the languages, he's not into that. When he has to do
Yeah.
whatever language work, it takes him forever to get it done. And I'm not worried about that. I mean,
Yeah.
I just tell even the tutor, because they are homeschooled, I just tell the tutor, just as long as he understands, whatever that needs to be understood, don't worry about it. I don't care if
Yeah.
he's getting, he doesn't understand that part. Because I can see that he's good at one thing that he's good at, and he enjoys it and he does well in it. That is the value. So when he goes out there in the world and he gets into an interview where they want a maths person, he's going to get there. He's going to be like, I'm the genius. They need me so much here. I'm the maths genius. Imagine the moment he opens his mouth, everybody's going to know that he's a maths genius. And they're going to need him. They're going to take him. But if, and he's never going to go for probably a language, anything. So he's not going to be like, I want any job. Any job is just fine. No, he's going to know, I'm in the maths stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is how we help our children find value in their lives. And once they stay in that value and they continually honor it, they continually learn more on it, they get better.
Yeah. But I don't think that's what my generation, you are younger than me, was taught, because it was a matter of you finish school, you get a job, and the jobs that are there are teaching, medicine, lawyer, and nursing. Those were the big things. You know what I mean? Nobody actually cared what you were good at, and I know with myself, because and I'm grateful to God for this, because Busi, I'm one of those people that rebelled at 12 years,
Wow.
because I knew what I was not good at. And
Yeah.
the conversation with my father was, I'll be a doctor, because I grew up in a hospital environment. I knew everything about the hospital. But
Yes.
being a doctor meant there were subjects that I needed to have. And maths showed me flames.
Yeah.
Like, maths wasn't my thing.
Mm, mm,
Physical
mm,
science wasn't my thing. Other
mm,
things that I was great at was accounting. I excelled in
mm,
accounting.
mm,
And
mm,
I remember having this conversation with him, and I was like, dude, this medicine thing ain't happening. Because
mm.
and I'm so grateful that my parents actually heard me. They
Yeah.
really heard me.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy, but he didn't force me to then go down that route.
Mm.
And when
Yeah.
I got to university and I discovered that even that accounting that I thought I was great at, accounting too was showing me flames. And I was like, no, you know.
Mm.
But I think just knowing that, put your energy in the things that you really enjoy, and put your energy in the things that you're good at. For me, that has always made sense. Don't ask me when I was that small, how did that make sense? But that's what made
Yeah.
sense. Then
And
having
that's when you know it
accounted.
better actually when you're that small, because there's nothing else you know just who you are, who what feels like to you. So I remember when I
Mm,
was 4, I was talking too much. Like every time when there's people that come to home, I will be interviewing them, I'll be asking them stuff. And I remember that my father one day told me, shut up, papa. Khulumela
mm.
abantu, yini, just shut up. Can you just not talk? And I stopped talking. And I
That
mean,
was traumatizing.
yeah. Now today I understand, Guti. I mean, literally, because every time I talk to people, people always be like, oh, I never thought of that. So I always ask people funny questions and they get into that. So of course, people probably were there and I was making them feeling uncomfortable, asking them things. And at the time I used to see stuff, so I'll probably be asking them about their lives, things they don't even want to talk about. So,
Mm,
but
mm.
that's who I am. That I was just doing that. So now that we should be conscious parents, that when your child do that, you actually start to coach them in that field, and you start to say, hey, you see, when this and this happens, it means this and this. So
Yeah.
now you should handle it this and this and this way. So maybe
Yeah.
he should have
Yeah.
said to me, yeah, you should talk to the people once they've eaten, maybe you should talk, don't just be like, they're sitting. I remember I used to literally welcome people when they enter the door. Like, they will be coming in and I'll be on top of them from the door. So probably that wasn't right. So he was just like, can you let them sit down? Let's give them tea and then you can be on them.
Yeah.
So
Is
and then he
that
was,
guidance? Where does the
yes,
guidance come in?
yes. So we can just
Yeah.
only guide them through the stuff. I mean, my daughter traumatized me the other time. She said, because she had said she wanted to do LLB. And I was like, okay, great. And then when her metric came, she was like, no, I mean, I want to be a photographer. Now I'm going to photography. I'm like, ah! Because, everything in me was like, photography? How are you going to be? Like, how are you going to make money there? So I was like, my whole entire system of where money comes from showed up for me. Yeah, now she doesn't know any of this stuff. So she didn't see the
Mm.
point about LLP makes money, photography makes money. What's the point? Me, I'm like, LLP girl is like money. This one I want, I no show. So today she makes money doing the one thing that she loves the most.
Mm.
And I can
Mm.
see that, yes, she is really loving this thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
She makes the money. She makes the money. She doesn't use it badly, because again, when you make money, when you are making it feeling bad. When you finish making it, you want to go and take away that stress of making it hard. So
Right.
you say, I work
Mm.
hard for this money. I should use it. And so you're mosh. But when
Yeah.
you made it happy, you don't feel the need of, I made this money hard. You're like,
And
okay,
then
this
to
man is
spend
precious.
it.
You
Mm.
put it there and you
Mm.
don't have dates and those. So, yeah.
Wow, that's great. But I can relate to that story. My daughter, at some point, she wanted to be a choreographer. And I'm just like, no, I need you to have a big home, like something,
Something like,
something.
but
But
we
that's
were
how we
taught,
were taught, you
yeah,
know. She ended up doing a BCom in investment management and an honors, and she barely used it. And now she's running her own business doing fashion
mm-hmm.
stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
But
exactly,
I was traumatized. I was like, oh my
yeah,
God, this child, you know.
hard,
But
like,
that's how we were taught. And I think now at least we are realizing and we
yeah,
want to then break
yeah,
some of that and
yeah,
encourage them in
yeah,
different ways on the stuff.
yeah. I
But look,
studied an IT degree that I never used one day.
yeah, I know. But we learn and we
We're
move and we
learning, we're
move.
learning.
Yeah. So, but talk to me about, so when you know your value, if then it comes to um negotiating salaries, and I have to say this is one thing that females, and I don't know about white females, but mainly black females are really bad at
Mm,
negotiating our salaries. It's something we were never taught of.
mm,
We always just think whatever we're given is what we have to
mm.
take, you know.
Ah, mm-hmm.
And so how do we bring this worth, knowing your worth and knowing your value into these
Mm,
salary conversations?
mm. So let's talk about the females first.
Okay.
Now, we all know what happened in the Garden of Eden. A fruit was eaten, and everybody knows who to blame for that. And I mean, this was a big issue. And I mean, how Eve pulled that off. I mean, we all need to take heads off that. Because I mean, there was God, there was everything there, but Eve pulled it off.
Mm.
So, we as women are the ones that know exactly how to get anybody in the planet to do anything. Now, we all know in every home, the man can say, I'm running the home, I'm the head, but we all know who's the boss, the real boss.
Mm.
Everything that happens in that home is going to happen because she said, the new house is going to be bought because she said, the new car is going to be bought because she said, she doesn't have to have one rent that she wakes up to go to a job to, but everything that she wants to happen in that home, it will happen. From
Mm.
what the children study to where we live. And I mean, men don't mind staying in a one bedroom. and having a BMW. They don't see a point in that. That's why it's been said that behind every successful man is a woman. Because we know, but we will get you, billionaire somebody, to do what we want. But then women do not use that when they get to the corporate space. Now
But
that is,
why?
yes, again, you see, now that's the thing we need to talk about. When I teach women about feminine energy, that's the only time they finally clicks to them. What's damn it, this thing, I have it in me and I know how to do it. So again, this corporate thing, because normally the corporate environment was started by men, and I mean, everybody says, and I want to die. Everybody, every time I hear this, they say, oh, the corporate world is a man's world. I'm like, shit, where do these men come from? Because they come from a woman. You know, by the time he gets there, he's gonna do whatever he has to do to bring me a house. So who is actually running this? I mean, if I wasn't there wanting a house, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing. If I wasn't there wanting a car, he wouldn't be doing what is happening there. Okay, fine. Anyway, now we're taught that it's a man's world. So when a woman gets to the workplace, she wants to change to be a man. Now she doesn't know how men work, so she messes up everything, drains her energy, and looks stupid in the meantime.
That's
Okay.
my pet peeve. My pet peeve. No, like now you're triggering me right now. Because my pet peeve is seeing women behave like men in corporate.
And
And
it looks
and
stupid and bad.
and you can see that you are trying to be part of a boys club. And how does it benefit you? Literally.
Men need women. Women do not need men. Now, I've done a whole entire one, probably almost 2 hours video explaining this. Women, we see it every day. In South Africa, 70% of the households are led by women only. They're doing it just no problem at all. Men hardly can do anything with the household by himself. Men need women. Women do not need men. So once you just understand that and you get it like in deep levels, you will know that when you are in a workplace, those men do not need you to join them. They need you to show them the way. Everywhere where there's feminine energy is to show the way. Masculine energy is to make things happen. So when you are in a corporate space, you need to psyche yourself to the position of saying, I am here to give guidance. All of us, we know when things are going wrong, you want to talk to your grandmother. Every person in the planet, you are a man, you are a woman, we all know the one that is going to make sense to my life is my grandmother or my mother. But normally it's the grandmother, because now she's not going to talk to you it's not going to be about, hey, grandmothers don't care anymore. They will tell you the truth, but you will actually get a direct, where am I going with this type of vibe. So when we are in a corporate space, it doesn't matter you are a reception, it doesn't matter you are, I don't know, whatever you are, you could be at the lowest point. Stop talking, show up with your energy. When you're at reception and you're showing up with your energy, they will, your boss will be like, in a meeting, being challenged, and they'll be like, yo, you know what? I need to talk to Busi. And Busi is the receptionist. Because Busi, every time I talk to her, she actually makes me understand stuff that's happening. They will stop the meeting, go talk to you, and set up another meeting for tomorrow and say the stuff you said to them. If you are their junior, they will do that. That is why a lot of women be like, Mara, I'm the one who came up with the idea. Why am I hearing these ideas in the boardroom? And nobody actually credit
Gives me
me for
credit.
stuff. No, girl, that's not what is supposed to be happening when you're supposed to be collecting the money. The same person who took your idea and go and took it and is the one that holds the door to your money. You are not there to be credited. Men are the one that needs to be credited when you are there to collect the money. Collect the money. Now women want to be credited. I want to be credited. No, that's a masculine thing. We are feeling safe when we've got security in terms of money. Men don't care about money, they care about ego, who thinks I'm what. So they will take your idea and go shine with it. Now you've got the door to say, Papa, you haven't paid for the stuff. Bring the money. That, Nyachela, I have had clients where everybody is shocked. Guti, she is such in a low position, but she earns so much. Why? It's because she understands what she's doing there. She is there to help him rise so that she can collect the cash. Go there and try. Now, the thing is this. When you're doing it correctly, there will be a day where all shit break loose in that company. Because everybody now nobody talks about how amazing you are, and everybody's using your energy and everybody's using your idea, and they know they're standing on you. When things fall apart, that's the day you will know, because they will come to you and say, can you be the manager of this branch? And it normally doesn't happen like you see it happening one time. It just happens that they ask you to be the manager. They ask you to be the head of the department. And they are not asking you because they want to interview you or they want to check you out. They know that you've been carrying this place the whole entire time, but they will never tell you. But if when are you trying to be told, you do not know how to validate yourself because you don't know who you are, you will be missing out trying to shine when it's not time yet, when you're supposed to be building them up so that they know they're standing with you. So in the corporate space, women really have to come back to being women. And it is so easy. I mean, women that I coach right now, I've got one executive that is working with the highest parastatals. She says, Busi, you know what, since I met you, I don't work. And I've been promoted 3 times. But I just delegate, and I delegate to men. All the people that I delegate to is men. I sleep at night, and men are working. And they actually say to me when we're in the Zoom meetings, because the higher boss is also a woman, then she's a woman, then there's all these men. Then she says, they say, you know, the guys, when we're on a Zoom meeting, they send me WhatsApp and say, can you talk to your boss that she should just talk to you, because today we want to go work because you gave us work. We want to go work. She's talking too much. Why is she talking like this? We just want to go work, because that's what masculine energy is about. She says, I used to be her. I used to do. She says, now she hates me because she sees that I'm not up at 12 when she is up. And in the morning, whatever that needed to be done is done. She's like, how do I make this man do these things? Because they don't want to listen to her. But she's just using her value, and her value is that feminine energy. They feel safe with her. They listen to what she wants, and they want to make her happy. Everything that the world wants is to make women happy. Our kids want to make us happy. Our husbands want to make us happy. Our brothers want to make us happy. Everybody wants to make a woman happy, but we don't want to receive.
Wow. Yo, Bus. Yeah, I know. That on its own, we don't want to receive that line. Because and I want to take it as literal as you're saying it. As women, we don't want to receive. You know, that thing of being told you've done well, and then you don't just receive it. You would go, oh yeah, but it was just a small thing. Oh yeah, but it was just my team. Oh yeah, but and you just make it like you didn't do anything, just because we don't know how to receive. Wow.
So I mean, I get chastised for this a lot, but if you look at the spiritual sense and science, you can notice that a woman is God. Just how much a woman is everybody understands that a woman needs care. A woman needs this. A woman is, I mean, we are great. I mean, we can do all sorts of things under the sun, but people think we should be cared for, which is a good thing. I mean, so that is what we need to be using to help them not try to run ourselves into a into an early grave, because a lot of women do that. They try to run themselves into an early grave. They're exhausted. Most women around their early 40s, they are tired in life. They are exhausted because they've been trying to prove themselves the whole entire time.
Wow. Yo, I don't even want to continue. I think there's a lot more that we can talk about.
Yeah, no, this
There's a
value
lot
thing
more
is
that
so
we can talk
critical.
but I think the value thing, for me, I'm not even sure why I asked you. It's something that just popped in my head. And and in all these conversations that I'm having, the one thing that keeps popping up, which is a thread, I think for people that are either listening or hearing this thing, is knowing who you are. When you know who you are,
And
there's a lot
honor
of,
who you are. Honor that. Once you know who you are, honor it. Make
yeah,
it your life mission to honor who you are, and not look at it as, whoo, I don't think people will understand it. It's not about them. It's about you.
yeah,
You need to understand it. You need to honor it. The more you honor it, then all of a sudden, then you see all this request of you as who you are shows up. They come to you, this request. People start to request you to be in their lives who you are.
yeah. Wow. Anyway, Boost, where do people find you? I know busy. You're all over. You're all over. But where
Hey,
do people find you?
I thought coronavirus was gonna save me from all of that. It didn't.
No, why should it? This is when people need to personal develop, know who they are, learn about themselves, so that when this pandemic, if it ever comes to an end, people can be better versions of themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the best place to find me is on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So
Okay.
I also have a website, busiselesho.com. That is where my courses are. But most of my work that I do on a daily basis is on those platforms. So anybody who just needs to connect with me, go to YouTube, Busi Selesho, and Instagram, Busi Selesho. If you've got a question, send me a DM on Instagram. It always is better to send me a DM on Instagram, because all the other platforms I never get the messages in time. So send me a DM there.
Mhm.
And all the courses that I do and all the stuff my book is all there on Instagram.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, even on my website, people can find your book. Um,
Yes, yes.
yeah, because I do resell, distribute, let me put it that way.
Distribute. Yeah.
um, Busi's book, because I really thought there were some nuggets in there, and you're the first person who ever spoke to me about money stories, who ever spoke to me about um multiple streams of income. Because I remember when I met you, I keep telling you this story. You said you've got 7 streams of incomes, and I
Yeah.
said that I was like, I need
And
to find out
damn it, there's 24
how,
hours a day.
like seriously, how is she doing it?
Yes, yes, yes.
and
And that is
and
the value thing when I'm even with that. Because one day I'm getting paid for being a commercial model. I have no business even like understanding how that happens. One day I'm getting paid for, so it's literally the things that makes me happy. I love being in front of a camera. And when you pay me to do it, I'm like, yes, I just want the camera. If you're gonna pay me also, it's fine.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm really grateful. And thank you for taking the time. So for people that were hearing, listening to us, please continue to subscribe, comment, share with other people, download, and let's continue having this change conversation, and hope that there's something that you've taken out of this conversation. Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you so
Busi.
much, for me. Have
And
a
thanks
lovely,
for your
lovely, lovely
time.
day.